Hi everybody, it's Miss Lorenz. I want you to be on page 10. This is the mini lesson that I'm going to start this section with, or this topic with. So I want you to get to page 10 and go with me as we walk through each of these examples. Okay, and so in this first one, Alexis was shopping on the ground floor of the mall when she realized she had left her phone in her car. So she walks down 6 floors to her car in the underground parking garage. So I'm going to go ahead and underline down 6 floors. How far will Alexis walk to get back to the ground floor? And you're going to use integers to explain. Remember, integers, that's part of our number system that includes our negative numbers. And so here's the ground floor of the mall, and that's what we have marked with this line right here. That is what we're going to consider 0. And so if Alexis walks down 6 floors, then she walks to -6. All right, let's go over here. We can use integers on a number line to represent the situation. And so the integer 0 represents the location of the ground floor. -6 represents the distance in floors Alexis walks down to her car. And so actually this is not -6. This is the absolute value of -6. So this is just asking us, what is the distance? Absolute value is a distance measure. What is the distance she will walk? So yeah, she goes down to -6, but that distance is still how far from ground floor or how far from 0? And that would still be 6. And so the absolute value of -6 is the same as the absolute value of 6. And that's because we know that -6 and +6 are both 6 units in distance from 0. So you want to think about distance from 0. All right, so then let's talk about the try it. Xavier climbs 9 feet up into an apple tree. So just like before, I'm going to underline important information here. What integer represents the direction and how far he will climb to get back down to the ground? And what does the integer 0 represent in this situation? So I'm just going to draw an apple tree, right? He climbed 9 feet up. And so he climbed 9 feet up. So the integer -9 would represent the absolute value of the integer -9 represents his climb down. So he was able to climb a distance of 9. So again, just like before, we know that the absolute value of -9 is the same as the absolute value of 9 because we're looking at how far is -9 and how far is 9 from 0. That's 9. So the question is, how far did Xavier climb up or down? Well, of course, he climbed 9 in distance, 9 feet in distance. The integer 0 represents the ground. So in this case, that's our 0. All right, let's go to the next part. Samuel has $20 in his savings account before he makes a deposit of $160. So I want you to remember that deposits are additions to our accounts. And then it says after 2 weeks, he withdraws $160. And a withdrawal is a subtraction from our account. So how did Samuel's savings account balance change? Well, the amounts deposited and withdrawn are opposites, right? Because he deposited 160 and then he withdrew 160. And both positive 160 and negative 160 are the same distance from 0. All right, so let's try it. The temperature was 75 degrees. At noon, the temperature increased by 7. By evening, the temperature decreased by 7. How did the temperature change? Well, it was 75. It increased by 7, then it decreased by 7, right? So we know that the temperature, when it increased by 7, it went from 75 to 82. And then when it decreased by 7, it went back to 75. So how did the temperature change? Well, the temperature change combined to a 0 temperature change. And that is because when you increase the temperature by 7 and then you decrease the temperature by 7, the distance is still the same from 0. All right, and the last one, temperature change using integers. This one should make lots of sense to all you Montana kids. On one winter morning, the temperature was -2 degrees Celsius. By 11 a.m., the temperature had decreased by 3 degrees. And then at 4 p.m., the temperature reached 0. So you have to figure out what integer represents the temperature change from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. So let's take a look at what we have here. We started the day at -2. By 11, the temperature had decreased by 3 degrees. So if it was already at -2 and it decreases by 3 degrees, then we are basically going further down the negative side of our number line. So -2, -3, -4, -5. So we know that at 11, it's -5 degrees. And then the temperature reached 0 degrees by 4 p.m. So to get from -5 degrees to 0 degrees, it had to increase 5. It had to go up 5 degrees. So let's go ahead and do the try it. Shaniqua had $45 in her wallet. She spends $4 on snacks and $8 on a movie. So $4 on snacks, $8 on a movie. What integer represents the change in the money in Shanika's wallet? And then how much does she have left? So we know that she started with 45. And then she spends 4 on snacks. So now she's at 41. And then she was at 41 and she spent $8 on a movie. So now she's at 33. So how much money does she have left? Well, she has left $33 in her account. And what integer represents the change in the amount of money? If we look at these two numbers, we withdrew 4 and we withdrew 8, so we withdrew a total of $12. All right. I hope that helps you, and then go ahead and look on Canvas for the assignment of what you are to complete next. Thanks for listening.